Right now, 90 million Americans are in the path of a massive storm system, and most of them have no idea what is about to hit their city in the next 12 hours. If you live anywhere east of the Rockies, you need to stop what you are doing and listen to every word of this forecast because I am about to give you the most detailed city-by-city, hour-by-hour breakdown you have ever seen, covering more than 270 cities across the United States. And here is the thing that scares me the most. This storm is not even the main event. Stay with me until minute 5 because that is when I will reveal the even bigger system forming next week that could make today look like a warm-up. But first, let me tell you what just happened yesterday. A violent wedge tornado ripped through Union City, Michigan. Witnesses described massive debris spinning hundreds of feet into the air, homes flattened, lives changed in seconds. And here is the twist nobody expected. That area was not even in the highest risk zone. It was rated marginal. Let that sink in. A marginal risk zone just produced one of the most violent tornadoes of the year. So when I tell you today as slight risk areas could produce something even worse, I am not exaggerating. I am giving you facts. Now here is your reward for staying with me this far. I am going to break down every single state, every major city, and tell you the exact hour your storms arrive, when they peak, and when they finally leave. Drop a comment right now with the city you live in, and I will personally make sure you get the forecast details you need. Let us dive in. The Storm Prediction Center has issued 2 separate slight risk areas today. The first covers the Ohio Valley, the second stretches across the deep south and southern plains, and connecting them is a massive marginal risk zone running from central New York all the way down to the Gulf Coast. That is roughly 1,500 miles of storm potential. Let me start with Texas because the hail threat here is absolutely wild. Dallas, Fort Worth, you are getting hit first. A broken line of thunderstorms is pushing through right now with damaging winds as the primary threat. But here is where it gets dangerous. After lunchtime, supercells will try to form south of that main line, and these storms could produce hail the size of baseballs. That is 2.75 inches in diameter. Waco, Austin, San Antonio, Shreveport, you are all in the 2-inch-plus hail zone. The storms push toward Houston by evening, reaching Corpus Christi by midnight. By Sunday morning, most of this activity will be offshore. But do not let your guard down because between now and midnight, southern and eastern Texas will be under a continuous threat of damaging winds. Now let me move to Arkansas. You are already getting hammered this morning. A line of severe storms is pushing through south of Little Rock down to El Dorado. The southern half of the state will deal with big storms through the afternoon. 2 to 3 inches of rain could fall in the southern sections. By this evening, things should wrap up statewide. But here's what I want you to remember. Even though the tornado risk is rated lower here, we could easily see that upgraded in later outlooks. Louisiana, your storms arrive later. Northern areas around Monroe, Alexandria, and Shreveport will see action by early afternoon. Large hail and damaging winds are your main concerns. If you are in Lake Charles or anywhere along the southern coast and you have evening plans, cancel them. Storms will not reach southern Louisiana until tonight. By 11 p.m., the entire state will be under a blanket of thunderstorms. Expect a couple inches of rain between now and early Monday morning. Mississippi and Alabama, listen carefully because this is where things could get dicey. It is going to feel like late April across your states today. That warmth is fuel for these storms. The timeline is critical. By 10 to 11 a.m., a line of storms will sweep across the Mississippi Delta. Jackson and Tupelo, you are looking at 3 to 4 p.m. Meridian and Hattiesburg, 5 to 6 p.m. In Alabama, Huntsville gets hit first around 5 p.m. Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, 6 to 7 p.m. Montgomery and southern Alabama, 8 to 9 p.m. Gulf Coast cities like Gulfport and Biloxi expect storms late tonight into the early morning hours. Mississippi could see the heaviest rainfall totals, potentially multiple inches. Do not skip this next part because the Ohio Valley is where the tornado threat is most serious today. Ohio, here is your hour-by-hour breakdown. Northwestern Ohio sees storms moving in around 10 a.m. By noon, a broken line reaches central Ohio. Cleveland gets hit in the early afternoon, and here is where it gets critical. Southeastern Ohio from about 2 to 5 p.m. is the danger window. The Storm Prediction Center has issued a 5% hatch tornado risk, which means strong tornadoes rated EF2 or higher are possible. Akron, Columbus, Cambridge, Athens, Youngstown, you are all in this zone. The atmosphere is primed with low-level wind energy and moisture that supports spinning updrafts. If any storm goes discrete ahead of the main line, that is your tornado producer. By evening, the threat should wind down. Pennsylvania, your window opens later. Erie, expect storms around 1 p.m., give or take an hour. Pittsburgh, 3 to 5 p.m. State College and Altoona, storms push through by 7 p.m. And here is something critical. The 5% Hatch tornado risk extends into western Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh, Oil City, almost all the way to just south of Erie. These are not just regular thunderstorms. Strong tornadoes are on the table. By 10 p.m., the activity should be weakening. New York, do not think you are safe. Buffalo, a line of storms could push through between 1 and 2 p.m., and this line could produce a tornado. Be aware, damaging winds and hail are also possible. The southern tier around Binghamton could see a reemergence of storms between 5 and 7 p.m. By 10 to 11 p.m., storms could reach all the way into southern New England. Northern West Virginia, you are also in the hatched tornado zone. Storms arrive by 5 p.m., but could be more intense than models suggest. Remember, models are just guidance. They are not a crystal ball. Kentucky and Tennessee, you are caught in the middle of all this. Western sections get hit first this morning. Louisville, Bowling Green, and Clarksville expect the main line by lunchtime. Nashville and Lexington, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern sections will deal with weakening but still potentially severe storms through the afternoon. Memphis gets hit mid-morning with storms pushing through the Delta region. Georgia and South Carolina, you might think you are in the clear today. Not so fast. It is going to feel like late May across your states. Pop-up thunderstorms could fire up this afternoon and evening with little warning. Atlanta could see storms around 9 to 10 p.m. Upstate South Carolina, same time frame. More widespread storms arrive overnight. And here is something you absolutely need to hear. Tomorrow, Sunday, the Carolinas have their own risk. Charlotte, Raleigh, Columbia, Greenville, Spartanburg, all under a marginal risk. Storms could develop by 3 p.m. Sunday and intensify through the evening. A big storm could push right over Columbia and Florence by 10 p.m. Sunday night. Florida, I have not forgotten about you. Tampa Bay and the southwestern coast could see summer-style thunderstorms popping up today. It has been a while since I have had to mention Florida in one of these forecasts, so pay attention. The upper Midwest, Minneapolis, and Wisconsin, you are dealing with a wintry mix on the cold side of this system. The upper peninsula of Michigan could see some light winter weather today, nothing major by your standards. Denver, congratulations on your 7.5 inches of snow at the airport. Your biggest snowstorm of the season. Now here is what I promised you at minute 5. The part that changes everything. Monday will be the quietest day of the week. You might think we are done. You would be wrong, because on Tuesday, a powerful new storm system explodes across the northern plains and races south. By Tuesday afternoon, severe thunderstorms will erupt from Waco and Abilene through Oklahoma City all the way to St. Louis. Large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes all on the table. The Storm Prediction Center already has a large slight risk posted. Storms could reach Chicago by Tuesday night and push into southern Wisconsin. Wednesday morning, the threat shifts. A significant severe weather risk develops across the deep south. Memphis, Shreveport, Monroe, Little Rock all facing another round of damaging winds and tornadoes. By Thursday, the risk moves into the southeast with more wind, hail, and isolated tornado potential. And here is the plot twist nobody is talking about yet. By next Friday and Saturday, winter makes a dramatic comeback. The European model has been hinting at a significant Arctic blast around the middle of March. We could see winter storm events across the Midwest and possibly the Northeast. This could be the last gasp of winter before severe weather season takes full control. So let me say this clearly. The next 7 days will feature severe weather on at least 4 separate days across a massive portion of the United States, followed by a potential return of winter. This is not normal. This is an incredibly active pattern, and you need to stay informed every single day. I want to remind you of something important. Yesterday, people lost their lives from tornadoes that formed in areas that were not even rated as the highest risk. Severe weather does not care about risk levels. If you are anywhere in these threat zones, have multiple ways to receive weather alerts. Know where your safe room is. Have a plan for your family. Do not wait until the sirens are going off to figure out where to go. Drop your city in the comments right now so I can make sure you are covered in tomorrow's forecast. And whatever you do, do not miss the next video because I will be giving you the full detailed breakdown of Tuesday and Wednesday's severe weather event, which could end up being even more dangerous than what we are seeing today. Make sure you subscribe so you do not miss it. Stay safe out there.